Good morning on a Wednesday. H. Fraley. I don't have a car or a wife. Just got mini disc. As you should. Absolutely as you should. Can you hear me all right? Everything coming in loud and clear? We coming in loud and clear? I got a hot mic. Morning, Edelson. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. There we go. Look at all the comments. I was worried that I wasn't doing this correctly, but now here we are. My man, what's happening? Brock, good to see you, my friend. Brock was one of our fine patrons, as well as a moderator, a comment moderator here in the comments. Barry, another long time patron. By the way, I have memberships set up now. No idea how that works. But if you sign up to be a member, it's kind of outside of Patreon. So this is like YouTube. You're going to get like behind the scenes videos once or twice a week, depending upon the tier. And then I'm also going to make cool emojis. So when we do live streams, everyone can know that you're a member, that you support the channel with your cool emojis. All right. Yay. Good. It's good. Ian Dawkins, my man from the UK, longtime viewer of the channel, taking a break from buying CDs off of eBay for this live stream. Very nice. This is the best. Like, I need to do another video about CDs because it's great when you can get a CD for like $5, rip it to exact audio copy, fix any of the mistakes on it. Yes. Billy, another longtime patron, my man, all the way from the UK. We got Annalise, 6 p.m.ing from Israel. Very nice. Welcome. Good morning from Missouri. Good morning, Michael. Germany. Guten Tag. We got Nashville. Sweden. All right, we got Israel, Germany, Sweden. I'm sure we have some of my fine Canadian friends in here too. Amsterdam. Whew. My man. Another longtime patron. Rat Boy, my man. All right. San Antonio. Very nice. We talking about mini discs? Yes, we're going to talk about some stuff. You guys need to help me out with creating a video, an upcoming video. I want to bounce some ideas off of your heads. I want you to bounce some ideas off of my head like a cinder block. Have you got your hands on Emotiva's new amp, the Bass X A2L Plus? Yes, actually. It's right outside this room. Probably going to hook it up today. Would you need to moderate comment? This is the internet. Nothing bad happens there. I'm assuming that is sarcastic. Central Alabama. Very nice. Here we go. Vancouver, Washington. Ryan, my man. Another UK friend. Thank you very much. You got the, what is that? The plague mask right there. Anyone else still buying, listening to SACDs? I know Rat Boy is. I know he's a big fan of the SACD. Membership is like Patreon, but you support Google instead of whoever owns Patreon. Yeah, but I mean, Google supports me. They give me a platform right now. So I get it. But, you know, if it wasn't for YouTube and Google, then I wouldn't be doing this. And I watch YouTube all the time, and I love it. Ancient Alien 815. My man. Good morning from New Jersey. About CDs, thinking of a Shanling ET3. Thoughts? I haven't spent any time with it, so I don't know. I know they have Like, I think they're well regarded. I don't know how much they cost though. Exotic Tampa. Yay. Canada. Here we go. Slovenia. Go. I don't know if we've ever had anybody in here from Slovenia. Scott Farnham. Cuba. Nice. Salt Lake City. Nice. Utah. Oh, look at this. YouTube royalty in the house. New record day. My man. Morning Value Audio Man. I have one for you. And it was kind of your idea. Well, don't keep me in suspense, Andrew. And if a whole bunch of comments come in, I might miss it, especially when the super chats start rolling in because they get priority. Have you been to headphone auditions in Amsterdam? I have not. I've never been to Amsterdam. Seattle. I lived in Tacoma and Silverdale. Well, actually, it's a submarine base. It was close to Silverdale. I like SACDs and MQA CDs. Nice. Long Island. Any thoughts on the Brennan B3? I don't know anything about that. Nothing about the Brennan B3. Oh, it's yummy soda. What do you think about the Dayton Audio tube amps? It wasn't a Dayton Audio. It was a mono price one. I don't know. Dayton Audio's good outfit. You know, that stuff's all made in China. And I think it's kind of interchangeable with a lot of the mono price stuff. But I know that place is run by people that care. So if you look at mono price, I mean, they're selling everything, right? Everything. Dayton Audio, obviously, Parts Express, just selling pretty much audio stuff. So I would have a tendency to point people to buy cheap amplification from Dayton Audio versus mono price, but chances are it's probably getting made in the same building anyway, or the same city, or something like that. Buffalo, New York. Yay. I skipped your comment. Okay, so this is what happens. A lot of comments come in, and then the comment that I actually read is, hey, go read my previous comment, and then I have to try to dig through. I'm sorry I skipped your previous comment. Nothing gives. Nothing. New record day. 2 speakers for surround sound. What do you think of Dayton? Didn't I just answer that? Wow. Okay. We got stuff coming in. Oh, hey, look at this. Hector Valentin, $4.99. Thank you, Hector. Thank you very much. You're a gentleman. You help support the channel. Thank you. We got Spain in the house. Very nice. My stepdaughter is going to go study abroad in Spain this summer, which I have to pay for. I saw 3 is a Coke Zero with orange flavoring. Could be delicious. It could be. I'm stuck on these, man. These Dr. Pepper Zeros, the strawberry ones. Strawberry and cream. Delicious. Delicious. Have a Black Ice Audio Glass FX Tube DAC arriving today to pair with the venerable FX10H tube amp. I know you dug the FX10, and the H is a notch above. Yes, I like Black Ice. I like the people over there too. I don't love tube amps, but I mean, if I was going to get a tube amp, I'd probably get something like that. I think they're affordable. I think that one has a headphone amp on it now. So, yeah, I like Black Ice very much. Blackberry flavor. That sounds delicious. All right. So here we go. The first thing when I woke up this morning, I had an idea for a video. And today is live stream day. So I figured I could get your help. You've been very helpful. You, the viewers, have been very helpful, especially Ancient Alien 850 something. one of the best videos I've ever made as far as views was based on his idea. All right. So the name of the video is the craziest audiophile products that failed spectacularly. And for what jumped in my head like immediately was like some of the formats, like mini disc, digital cassette, whatever it was, digital tape. But I also wanted to do like some products that I don't know seemed really cool at the time. Maybe the Microsoft Zune, that might be a good one too, because like that was a good product, but it was kind of before its time. They had music subscription services before music subscription services were a thing. All right, we'll put it right here. All right, so mini CD. We'll do SACD. Quad. What else? Laserdisc. Yeah. That might fall just outside, but I love Laserdiscs. The interesting thing about Laserdisc is the audio on Laserdisc was actually analog. Oh, DAT. Yeah. Digital audio tape for sure. For sure. Beta. Yeah. Again, that kind of falls out the purview, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, they're rolling in. What's a Pono? I'm going to put Pono with a question mark. Hey, Brian, another long time patron. Ronald, $20. Microsoft Zune beat me to it. And Pono. What? Oh, Neil Young's player. Okay, that's right. Neil Young's player. Wasn't it like a triangle or something? Microsoft Zune. Just awesome. 8-track. 8-track was pretty much ubiquitous though, right? And then so like there's a lot of 8-tracks players out there. Yes, it went the way of the dodo. However, I'm talking about some stuff that was a little bit nichier, but totally with you. My dad had an 8-track player and it had these toggles that looked like an Atari 2600. Actually, it looked almost exactly like an Atari 2600. You stuff it in and then you put a toggle and it go clunk, clunk. Yeah. All right. DAT would have been a great format. Yes. Ron, you need to quit giving me super chats because this is going to continue to go on. Because like when you have a live stream, I'm going to go on your live stream and I'm going to give you $20. So at some point we have to quit this. We're going to have to stop. It's going to have to stop, Ron. It's not going to end well. All right. What else? The Game Boy and PSP had music video game disc. No kidding. That's interesting. Game Boy and PSP video game disc. I think it would be totally cool if like mini CDs came back. The problem is no one's making them, you know. Remember the Zune? Always wanted one and heard mixed positions on it. I think it's cool just from the standpoint of they did the kind of subscription service like before it was ever a thing. Yep. Blu-ray audio. Blu-ray audio. All right. Car record players. Was that really a thing? People really put record players in their cars? I know there's one, Audio Technica has a sound burger or something like that, but I think it's actually successful. Like I think people buy a lot of those. I think they re-released it. Techmoan, king of explaining old formats. Yeah. I'll have to check him out or her. I think it's a him. A good review would be the Monoprice Monolith easel style speaker stands. They're quality knockoffs of the solid steel. Huh, I'll have to check those out. Let's see. Video 2000. What is that? What's Video 2000? Video 2000. There's an overall interest in physical formats, a resurgence. I like that. Got a cassette player right there. Hit clips. What is that? Wasn't there something? It was like a single cassette. What is that? That sounds vaguely familiar. All right. SACD is great, but it was a hard sell as a mass market product. Yep, normal people don't care that much about audio quality. Agreed. Video 2000 equals VCC equals Philips. CD Plus. I don't remember CD Plus. CD Plus. They were practicing the skip issue before CD. They did wild stuff. I don't know. What were you talking about? All right. AI audio. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Oh, Jason, so nice. Ron and Randy are the absolute best. I want a monthly stream where the two titans just hang out and BS. We've done that many times. Where's the membership button? I have no idea. I was talking to another YouTuber and he's like, dude, you need to turn on memberships. I'm like, all right. So I went through it and I did it, but I don't exactly know how to do it. That's how good I am at YouTube. Car record players were actually a thing, but mainly intended for trips on freeways and when parked. Oh, all right. That makes sense. Video 2000 was the third format next to VHS and Betamax. Wow. Interesting. I already got that down. Philips did a car record player in the 60s. It's a good photo of Muhammad Ali using one. Muhammad Ali car record player. I mean, that's just insanity writing these words together. Car record player. There we go. Let's see. I was going to buy some Polk ES15s in white. Saw your vid saying Polk going downhill. Skip, recommend. No, ES15s are fine. I mean, anything they've built is fine. I'm not saying they're going downhill. I'm saying they got bought by a publicly traded company that cares nothing about audio. So there's zero chance they're going to be infusing Polk or whatever brand with a bunch of money because they want to sell them. So, and in order to sell them, they need to make it as attractive as possible to get a buyer. And they're not going to do that by pumping a bunch of money in there. They're going to do it by just absolutely hatcheting all the employees, and they still can't sell it. So, all right, Edric, my man. All right, hit clips. Was that like a single song, and it was almost like a Game Boy or something, and it was like you'd click it in, and it was like for kids? Is that what hit clips was? Hold on, hit clips. I'm gonna go over here. Hit clips 90s. Oh, look at that. All right, let me share my screen. Here we go. Hit Clips is a digital audio player created by Tiger Electronics that plays low fidelity mono 1 minute clips. 1 minute, that's it, of usually teen pop hits from exchangeable cartridge. First launched in April of 2000. Wow. With 60-second microchip songs featuring Britney Spears, Sugar Ray, Destiny's Child, Backstreet Boys, Dream, Pink. There's a version for young children. Hit clips, kid clips. Crazy. Promoted by McDonald's, Radio Disney, and Lunchables. This is definitely all right. Hit clips is in. Very nice. Jacob F. I'm subscribing today because I know you've cut out that early shtick of you saying stuff really simply and kind of stuttering through it. Jacob, I think we may be bringing that back. I understand if you can't subscribe, but the shtick is what got me here today. Kind of want to go back to the shtick. MQA has been a flop. Somebody bought it. Who bought it? Lenbrook bought it. And I'm sure they have plans with it. All right. Is Og Vorbis still around? I don't know what that is. Og Vorbis. Og Vorbis is a free open source audio format for compressing. Okay. I think it is still around. We're commenting on the record player in vehicles. Video 2000 was the best. For music digital disc formats, my preference are DVD audio, SACD, Blu-ray audio. This is like the museum of dead formats, and I love it. SHMCD, CD, DTS audio, DVD. Very nice. How about the audio pebbles? Those rocks. Okay, so this is another like aspect of this video is like, so on one hand, there's like the completely outlandish, esoteric box of crystals that you run which is actually a thing, which you would run your power cables through, the grounding cable. But like that's too niche. And there's some audiophiles out there be like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. That doesn't surprise me. I want something that was kind of like that, but didn't last for whatever reason. Could you put the premise of the video in the description for folks joining us just now? Yeah, I might be able to do that. I don't know. I don't want to mess things up. I'll put it in the video in the description after this. MP3 players. Yeah, that's a good point. MP3 players were like ubiquitous. All right, we did that. Do you remember Dynaco amp kits? You build the amp. I do remember those. I know those are very, very popular. Very popular. The disc you put in, but it cleans your laser lens. They had a similar thing for tape, but I believe they actually worked. Very nice. Linear tracking turntables. We've talked about that in my Patreon. Those are the ones that like clamp the record down. You can hang them from a wall, right? Or is it something else? There's also this weird thing where it was like it looked like a little tiny radio RC car, and it was a cartridge, and it would drive around the record and play. RC car cartridge. All right. Sound Blaster is dead, right? It used to be top line. Sound Blaster. I'm not going to be able to read this. I got to rewrite it. Sound Blaster. There we go. It's cold in here, so my hands get like numb a little bit, and I can't write. Radio Shack's take on audio. What is Radio Shack's take on audio? What was that? When can we buy t-shirts? I should have put that in the description. These are the t-shirts though. They're quite nice. Getting low, especially if you're medium or double XL. Not too many of those left. This is the t-shirt. Screen printed. Very nice. Very, very nice t-shirts. They're great. They're running out of stock. Not going to be back. Get them while you can. There we go. Let's see. Remember vinyl records? Man, they were annoying. I get it. Loved the video on the DVD comparison. Gave me a ton of really groovy ideas. Much appreciated. I don't remember making a DVD comparison video. Oh, we got a super chat. James Skinner, $5. Randy, have you looked at the Eversolo DMP A6 Gen 2? As they've added an eARC and Amazon Music? I have not. I briefly talked to them, but I wasn't one that would like just gush all over their stuff. It's good, but it's like Android based. I mean, it's fine. I like it. I think it's a little bit overpriced, but I'm sure it's got a great clock in it. You can get Amazon Music in it, so it looks good. But that's never really been my like cup of tea. But I'll totally do a video on it. I just have a hard time, like, because I'm sure that's going to be $700 or $800. The Weem Ultra, $330, and they've been running 10% off. So like $300. So for whatever you would pay for the Eversolo, you could get the Weem Ultra plus a really good DAC, like the J3 from Gishelli or something from other people. But you could get a really good DAC for the price that you'd pay for the other one. I still think it's good. So yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Randy, is there a way I can pay you for a 15-minute advice session for an upcoming project I have? Sure. And we can do that. If you sign up for Patreon, though, just sign up for like a month or something, and then you can contact me through Patreon and we can jump on a call. That's kind of one of the things, one of the tiers that I do for Patreon for like some of the more, the higher tiers. But usually I like make them wait 2 or 3 months to do it so they don't just buy it, bounce, and then like get a refund. But I mean, I trust you. Like if people are going to do that, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, check out the Patreon. It's patreon.com/cheapaudioman. And then you can sign up, shoot me a message through Patreon. Have I listened to Zoo speakers? A couple. Yeah, I have. Thoughts on Triangle Audio Borea series speakers? They're good now that the price has come down. And when they were first released, they were over $600, I think. And I didn't think they were good at that price. But at like $350, they're pretty good. The Bro 3s are pretty good at $350. Have I listened to LRS Plus? Never. I have not. Cheap on the used market. Yeah. Probably because they're hard to get rid of, right? They're kind of fragile. And if you send them, chances are they're not going to make it there well. So I would imagine that like you'd have to hand give them to somebody on Facebook Marketplace. Jeepers Creepers. Andrew Fish, $10 1 year ago. You did a comparison between a 4K and cheap turntable. Left the cheap with cart and internal phono amp. Phono, yeah. How about compare the cheap swap, cart, swap, phono, pre-listen comp to find out what makes the most difference? Oh, okay. I get you. I'm going to say in my experience, it's always phono cartridge and then phono preamp after that. Phono preamp has more of a, it affects the music more than I thought it would. So yeah, that would be my kind of tier on that. And then after that, you start to get into like tone arms and like the weight of the plinth and all that stuff. But I mean, it all starts for me with the cartridge and then the phono preamp. If you want to go like super high end on your turntables, you certainly can. There's nothing that makes me more annoyed than when I see $1,000 turntable with something like an Ortofon 2M Red or something like that, like a cheap cheap Audio Technica or a cheap Ortophon cartridge, it really annoys me. Because you can get like Fluence RT85 with a 2M Blue, which is a $200 cartridge, maybe even more, and it's a $500 table. Anyway, I don't like cheap cartridges on expensive tables. All right, Rich, $25. Thank you, Rich. You're the man. I've been into audio for 55 years. Wow. Dad owned an electronics repair shop when he came home from World War II. Wow, that is awesome. I bet you've got some stories. That's really cool. Did you work like in there? Did you solder anything? Did he put you to work? You say, get to work, 8-year-old son. There's no labor laws right now. Because that's what my dad did on the farm. Alwi Beta Hi-Fi stereo. Never heard of that one. Alwi Beta Hi-Fi stereo. All right. Very nice. Thank you, Rich, for the super chat. Thank you, Andrew, for the super chat. Thank you all. All right. Here, hold this capacitor. No kidding. Yes, soldering from the time I was 8 years old. I figured. I knew it. I figured it was that way. Jeff, I would like to hear the Maggie's, the LRS Plus. I think that would be fun. I really like planar headphones. Yeah. I've never really heard I've never had a planar speaker in my house. I've never had a planar speaker in my house. Hey, Randy, can a system be too revealing? I feel like my system is better with the SMSL SU1 for good recordings, but some of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs, I've been there, aren't the best recorded, and it shows. What do you do? And that's the thing about having a clean system, right? Is sometimes stuff doesn't sound that great. I don't know what you do, man. Put some warm speakers on it, I guess, or just kind of deal with it. That's what I do. But there's some stuff. So Led Zeppelin is good. I have this Rush record that just sounds terrible. Just absolutely terrible. I think that has more to do with the recording than anything else. But a lot of this stuff was recorded, especially the popular music, was recorded for the masses, right? Off a transistor radio or car stereo, stuff like that. So some of these recordings, didn't really have the audiophile in mind, and it shows, especially when you have a decent system. So yes, the system can be too revealing for bad recordings. I don't think a system can ever be too revealing. Some recordings don't sound very good though. You could try to tweak it, mess around, maybe bring up the bottom end, because generally speaking, on a bad recording, I feel like it's just in the middle. So it cuts off the lows, especially, and a bit of the air on top. So yeah. Iowa bookshelf all-in-ones from the late 90s, early 2000s. Iowa bookshelf all-in-one speakers. All right. Very good. 90s and 2000s. All right. Very good. Very good. You actually picked the cheaper of two cart for the 4K Ortophon Blue, if I recall. I don't know if I follow. I do like the Ortophon Blue quite a bit. It's one of my favorite cartridges. Even, I think maybe you're saying even more than some expensive cartridges. Yeah, absolutely. There's a moving coil cart that I had in. I didn't think it was very good at all. I mean, for me, for my taste, and it was like $1,000. Carts are phono carts are kind of similar to headphones to where they just sound very different. So yeah. Scott Farnham, $10. L cassette. Combination cassette and reel to reel in the 70s. Sold a few, I think. L cassette, huh? Cassette. Very nice. I like that. Some great music is recorded like garbage. Pretty much all of my punk recordings sounds like what Metallica tried to achieve with Saint Anger. Oof, yeah. Well, Metallica's first record sounded like garbage too. Like the first versions of them that came out. Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All. Really, they sounded really bad. Really bad. Really, really bad. All that stuff did. Yeah. It's crazy how everyone used to have a stereo in their house. It is. I like it. I wonder if we're ever going to say that about televisions. Like, man, do you remember when everybody had a TV in their house? I think TVs are sticking around. Maybe. Because my kids don't really watch TV. Occasionally. They're always on their phone or they're... Do you think 20 years from now, we'll all be like, man, remember the 80-inch TVs we used to have? Is that a thing that only old people are getting? Because think about it. Because we're sitting here and we're like, man, remember when we used to have CDs? Man, remember when we used to have 8 tracks? I wonder if that'll happen to TVs. Huh. That's interesting to think about, right? Right? Yes. Yes. That is interesting to think about. Because everything kind of runs its course, right? And TVs will always be around, but I wonder if it's going to be a more niche thing like stereos. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Thoughts on televisions? You remember when a dozen eggs were $1? Eggs have gone through like 2 different weirdnesses. One was during the thing where everyone had to stay inside. And then one is because of this other thing. Anyway, that's crazy. I never really eat eggs that much, so it doesn't I'm not like devastated about it. I think it's kind of funny that everyone's freaking out about it. But I guess if you eat like a dozen eggs a day, I get it. Yeah. TV is a social activity. If you don't have it, you miss opportunities to connect. I don't know, man. Like my family, we don't watch it together. Occasionally, I'll have it on and the kids will be watching it. I'm just thinking about like from my kids' standpoint. So I have an 8 and a 12-year-old, and they rarely watch TV. Even when we're in the same room, like one of my daughters will be on her iPad and the other one will be on their phone, and we'll all kind of be hanging out. But I don't even watch TV that much anymore. Although Daredevil was just dropped and I haven't watched any of it yet, so don't ruin it for me. Don't even say if it's good or bad, because I want to watch it. That's the only thing I've been looking forward to watching for a while. Did I miss a super chat? Okay, we got Scott, got Rich, got Andrew. Yes. Jane Skinner. Yes, I got that one. I've missed people sometimes and I feel terrible when I do that. All right, that's everybody. All the way down. May the 4th is a TV day in our house. Yeah. I used to love May the 4th. I've been very disappointed. Very disappointed what's happened to the wonderful Star Wars. Makes me sad. Charles Drake, $10. Quadraphonic stereo and 45 records on a cereal box. They put records on cereal boxes? Records on a cereal box. I remember they had cassette singles. I bought a lot of cassette singles. Speaker shootout by size, 4-inch. I'm looking for a 3.5 to 4-inch speaker for a desk setup. Upgrade from Yamo S801s. I'll just tell you, the Emotivas right here, really good. And they're 4-inch woofer. XB1s. What else? Actually, I don't mind these Wrens. What's the company? Kanto. I don't mind these Kanto Wrens. They're pretty good. They're powered. What else? A small speaker. The Q Acoustics 3010s or 50. I think they're a little bit too big for a desktop. Numi BS5. They're about $110. They're really good. What did I just have in here? Oh, the Cambridge Audio SX50. Excellent speaker. $200. Mica RB42. Pretty good. Although I think the Micas sound their best when they're loud. And you can't listen to them that loud on your desktop. I think they're a little flat unless you're getting a lot of juice into them. Rick Harms. $10 Californian. Wouldn't that be funny if California got their own currency and it would be like $10 Californian, $10 Canadian. Thank you so much. Just because I love your vids. Rick, I love you. Thank you so much. $10 Californian. The Californian dollar. I wonder what they would call their currency. Anyway, put it in the comments. What is California going to call their new currency when they secede from the United States? Wow, I'm old. I had records from a cereal box. I also have my first Disney record and most of my records from when I was a preteen. That's cool. So I used to listen to what is it? The Locomotion. I think it was covered by Grand Funk Railroad. I listen to that one constantly on a little clamshell, like plastic record player. Very thin vinyl singles and magazines. You can actually play them. Magazine records. I may have to rename this video. This is all good stuff, but I thought the title was really good. I'll have to figure it out how to like mold this into the title. Floppy 45s are inside magazines too, like Mad Magazine in the 70s. How about the AOL discs that were in everything? I could have tiled my bathroom with a number of AOL internet discs. I have a few bird flu, a few flexi discs, picnic plate records sitting around somewhere. More novelty than anything. Yeah. How about tuners? I don't even think I've seen a hi-fi brand produce one recently. Yeah, that's for sure. There's a dude in Arizona who lathe cuts audio into CDs, picnic plates, flexiglass art. People in a position to know records. Huh. Emotivas are heir to NHTs. Howdy from Georgia, USA. I figured that. I think my SL 1500 turntable could sound better. It has an ADC RK50E stylus. Suggestions. I don't know much about the SL 1500. I don't know what kind of cartridge it has in it. I don't know. I'm sorry. What do you got there? Got a gun? Nice. Is there a high-res network streamer that is capable of playing from an external hard drive? Yes, almost all of them. What do you think of Shanling higher-end stuff? I've never heard a single Shanling product, but again, I think they're well-respected. Just about any streamer out there, you can load up an external hard drive with a bunch of FLACs. Actually, multiple formats, I think. You stick it in the back, and then it'll usually show up. I mean, they've been doing that for years, right? I know Eversolo actually has slots for solid state hard drives that you can load up and then put in there. But most of them just have a USB on the back that you can connect, and then you pull up the app, and then it should have it should show up depending upon if you do the folders correctly. It'll show up. You can also do that with on just a network too. So if you hook up a network device to your Wi-Fi, it'll show up. What was the one that I used? Was it the Raspberry Pi stuff I used? So that would have been Volumio. But even Weem does it. Just about everybody does it. I had Locomotion on a 45 back in the day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lots of tuners are built into network audio players. Yeah. Now, like a real tuner that's like actually picking up radio waves. I know there's like internet radio in a lot of them, but I think, yeah, like internet radio is kind of replaced terrestrial radio. Although that would be cool if terrestrial radio made a comeback. One of our fine patrons who also has a YouTube channel, United States of Analog, Bob Fonseca, is a DJ. Not really a DJ. He's a radio personality. He has a morning show in Austin. Very popular. Andrew Fish, $5 wonderful dollars. Nobody's making jokes about the California currency. Anyway, what's the best center channel speaker? It's just the voice clarity that matters. Test some. Nobody will watch that video. I've made videos about home theater speakers. People don't like them. If you want clarity, Emotiva makes some great speakers. Here's the thing though, like if you want a small center speaker, it doesn't have to be like a quote unquote center speaker. Actually, if you just have a two-way speaker facing vertically, it sometimes has better dispersion than a center channel speaker. But Emotiva makes this cool speaker. I can't remember what it is, but you can actually take the tweeter out and rotate it and then put them vertically, and then you can use them as pairs. Really good, actually. I like those. If you want clarity, though, Emotiva, and then Klipsch. Klipsch isn't like true clarity. It's just a bump in the upper mid-range, so it just pushes vocals forward, and it gives you the perception of clarity. And you can take any speaker, and if you have a NEQ, just pull up like 1 to 2K, 3 dB, and then your center speaker is going to be like, whoa, this is awesome. And then if it's like chesty, pull down like 300K, 300 hertz, 300K. You want to hear that? 300 hertz. So yeah, and there's do a little bit of a vocal bump. But there's another company. RSL makes good small speakers, and you can use them for center speakers. Very mid-range focused. Ewout Booler, 11 euros. Thank you. Thanks, Cam. Philips started in the 70s with the motional feedback MFB loudspeakers. Tiny, but huge and very tight bass. Actually building them again, not Philips, the Dutch exclusive brands. I'm going to write that down. Philips motional feedback. MFB speakers. Thank you. That sounds like something very interesting. Very nice. Center channel speaker shootout. Nobody would watch that video. Nobody. I mean, like a few thousand people would watch that video. I still use FM tuners. I think it's fun. I think it would be fun to listen to it. I know people that have like their garage systems. They just listen to the radio. Funny enough, Zune had a tuner built into it. Huh. Okay, there was this really cool cassette, like Walkman style. My buddy had it, and his so he's part of a Catholic family, and his older brother and sister were like 10 years older than him. So figure that one out. Anyway, they were both like in electronics and stuff. So he would get the hand-me-downs of his older brother who had a real job, and it was always really good stuff. Anyway, it was this tiny little Walkman type of a thing, and it was so small that the cassette would actually hang out of the actual enclosure, and it had a removable tuner section. So if you took the cassette out, you could put this, it was like a transformer, right? And you would put that in, and then it would be the tuner. Yeah, that was really cool. What am I trying to Walkman removable tuner. There we go. DIY Center Channel. Man, fornication. California currency, street turds. ST, fornicoin. Oh, that's funny. Californication. I like that. Georgia, again, the cart is also ADC. I think it's a Radio Shack. I couldn't tell you, my man. I tell you the cartridges that I like are the 2M Blue from Ortofon. I like the Gold Ring E2 or E3. Anyway, all the gold rings like E2 or E3. But I've also been told that those, whatever gold ring cartridge I like, is basically just a rebranded Audio-Technica one. I think Audio-Technica makes decent ones. I think the OM10 or the OM5 are okay. But if you got an expensive turntable, I look at the blue. Depends on what you like. If you like warm sound, maybe get something from Nagaoka. I have the MP110. It's pretty good. You could look at something from Grado. So it depends on like what sound you're into. I like clean dynamic, and that's why I like the 2M Blue. Still listen to cassettes coated with either Dolby or DBX noise reduction. That was the best, right? Because you just hear the shh and then engage noise reduction. I think California was going with the Clooney. That's actually funny because that actually sounds like a currency. That's 2 Clooneys, 5 Clooneys. I have a Fluence RT85 with a blue $300 to $600 first phono preamp recommendation. Okay. You can actually cut that down by 100 and get the iFi Zen Phono, the latest edition. I think it's $200. Really good. If you're looking at 5, so this is the one and the only place where I don't mind tubes is in the phono stage. You could also look at the Project tube box S2. I think it's $500. Outside of that, I don't really have anything for you. But the iFi and the Project, both very good. Cali coins, very good. Very good. Few Emotiva amps have receivers in them. That's right. And they have legitimate like tuners in them. I think the TA2, TA1 both do. Evictolons. Any recommendations for an amp receiver that would pair well with an ELAC Debut 2.0 in the same price range? It's like $500, $300. Let's see. The Denon PMA 600 NE, I think is pretty good. I think that's $400 or $500. The Emotiva TA1, I think is $550. Let's see. There may be something from Cambridge. The 25 AXA 25 and 35 are both good, but I would move. Oh, this might be a little bit too spicy in the mid range, but the Yamaha AS301, I think it's $350, and then the 501, I think is $500 ish. Those are both very good. They're very analytical and a little bit harsh in the mid range. Does have tone controls though. Does have a variable loudness button. A little bit brittle sounding on top though, but they're a great deal and they put out really good power. It's just if you like that sound or not. So that's what I would look at. AS301, 501, TA1, Denon PMA 600 NE. Yeah, those are the ones I would look at. Let's see. My goodness. So many comments. The The radio headphones with a tuner in them disappeared long ago with mini black and white TVs. I had a mini black and white TVs. I used to play Nintendo on it. I was playing Simon's Quest, which was Castlevania game. And I remember I'd worked on it and I couldn't figure it out. And at that time they had like 800 or 900 number. Like, so you would have to call long distance to get like the, they would give you tips, or they basically tell you how to finally beat the level. And I remember having to call into one of those to figure out how I could like beat the level. And it was weird. Like you had to hold a certain stone and then kneel in front of a pond or a lake. And then these stairs would appear. Cause I would get to this place. I'm like, how do I get through this? And you jump in the lake and you die. So yeah, that was their thing. Before the internet, they'd make poor kids have to call in to these 800 numbers to get video game tips. But anyway, I was playing it on this black and white TV, and I remember I forgot to save, and I was devastated. But it turned out that a previous place that I saved was okay. So anyway, yeah, that's my story about Simon's Quest playing on a 15-inch. I don't even know if it was a 15-inch. I think maybe it was a 12-inch black and white TV. There you go. I got the Schket phono preamp. All right. Casos, pronounced like pesos. Hopefully not too cheesy. It's not bad. That's not bad. Remember the first time you heard the Sony Walkman around 1980? It blew my mind. I was too poor for Sony, so I had some knockoff. It was the type of knockoff that you could buy like in a pharmacy. That's the one that I had. It was $60. I remember it because I think it was my 6th or 7th birthday. Previously, my father would give us, my father gave my brother a BB gun. I think 6 years old. That's the type of childhood I grew up with. And instead of a BB gun, I wanted, because I knew the value of a BB gun, I asked them if I could get a Walkman instead. And they did. They got me a Walkman. That was kind of my entrance into being an audiophile. Shrewd Bucks. Oh my goodness. Ryan, you nailed it. Out of the park. Shrewd Bucks. I forgot what Dwight was giving out Shrewd Bucks for. I had a 15-inch black and white TV, and I thought it was B&W, and played Atari 2600 on it. Very nice. Shrewd Bucks. Love that. For next CD episode, where do you get a linear dual voltage 5-volt, 12-volt power supply for the SMSL PL100? I got mine from one of my patrons who I think got it from AliExpress. Be careful though, because not all of them put out the right voltage. And I've heard horror stories from Gishelli Labs about people putting cheap, not even sometimes in certain cases, not even cheap, but putting power or linear power supplies on their DACs that aren't putting out the right voltage, and it fries the DACs. Over voltage and under voltage can both fry the DACs. So be careful. The one that I have, I think came from AliExpress, but it came from Patreon. I also think it's Peachtree Audio makes some linear power supplies. I don't know if they make a dual 12-volt, 5-volt, but just be careful when you're getting one. I have another one too that actually has a voltage readout on front. I don't know if it's accurate, but it tells you what the voltage is. And your brother gave your dad a sweatshirt with a bullseye on the back. No, I did end up getting a BB gun, I think the next year or something. My dad used to give me, what was it? I think it was a quarter for every. Anyway, he used to have me shoot birds in the barn and at the shop downtown. So I think he gave me 25 cents for any bird or any sparrow that I shot. I can't remember. I got two different rates, 25 cents and 10 cents. And so all day long, I would just go kill birds so they ain't crap on the tractors. Very, very important to get a proper linear power supply. There you go. Why don't you try using car amps and car subs in your home? Because 12 volts. Okay, this is a great idea for a video, and one that I found very interesting. There's a guy out there, great channel called Toyd's DIY, and he took an old head unit. Because if you think about it, a lot of these head units all had a bunch of DSP, time alignment, a lot of EQ. So he took an old car head unit and then an old car amp, rigged up a 12-volt system to run the whole thing. And it was really interesting. Fun video to watch. I don't know if that video would play on my channel, but I like where your head's at. I understand it, and I've thought about doing it in the past. But yeah, one has to think about this, though. Car audio is not meant to be high fidelity, regardless of what people will tell you. Because the reality is, if you're driving in a car, and really they don't make head units much anymore, but if you're driving in a car, you have minimum 60 dB of road noise to deal with. So even if you have high fidelity, it doesn't matter. And a lot of these amps out there, like, they were meant for power, not necessarily for fidelity. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got. We're going to have to wrap this up. I'm going to schedule, people. I got a schedule today. I try to clip cheap Klipsch center. I didn't Klipsch made bad cheap speakers, but it was awful. Yes, Klipsch obviously makes bad cheap speakers. You could go to Costco, get a whole big home theater system. Actually, one of the moms of my daughter's friends at the school was asking me about the Klipsch home theater systems in a box at Costco. I'm like, no, just what do you need? I'll give it to you. Appreciate the BB gun lore, but it was a Rodney Dangerfield joke that went over your head. Yeah, a lot of stuff goes over my head. Yeah, I think that's a cool story, though. Keeps your kid busy, right? Hey, go kill birds, and then at the end of the day, I'll get into my pocket and I'll give you coins. I think that was genius, actually. Looking back, I just don't feel comfortable giving my daughter's projectile a weapon to go kill probably some type of. We couldn't get away with that here. Here's a bunch of fireworks. Go have fun. I'll see you at the end of the day. 3 topic ideas: playing SACD layer versus the CD layer comparison. How do late 80s 1-bit oversampling CD players compare now? That's actually a really good idea. I had that idea a long time ago because I wanted to compare like a $5,000 CD player from 1985 to a $100 CD player today for that very reason, for the DAC reason. The problem is those CD players are still going for really high prices, even though they sound like garbage. That's a great idea, and I've had that idea. It's just I couldn't find a decent CD player that wasn't super expensive. 72, I don't understand about DACs. I have a good receiver. Do I need one? If you have a decent receiver, no, you already have a DAC in it. But external DACs have gotten really good at a really low price. But you have to have a digital source going into it. So if you have a streamer, a CD player, or something like that, there's stuff out there like the SMSL SU1 that is $80 and I think outperforms most DACs in most receivers. Most DACs in most receivers were like Wolfson DACs or some like Burr Brown stuff, which is very rich. It sounds pretty good, but you do lose some of that detail. And then you also have to consider, the DAC in your receivers sharing the same power supply and stuff like that. So it's not always necessarily like the cleanest thing. But to answer your question, depending upon what receiver, if you have optical inputs, coaxial inputs on your receiver, then you absolutely have a DAC and you don't really need one. And if you have a good receiver, probably don't need one. Dustin, nobody would watch that video. I did one on outdoor speakers from Emotiva. Some people watched it, but like my audience is like all in on like 2-channel and stuff. People wouldn't watch that. It's fun. I did one and it was just kind of like a time lapse of me hooking them up outside. But yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate all of you. If you want to buy a t-shirt, I'll link it in the description before I leave. Awesome screen printed t-shirts of the highest quality. The ones that I had print on demand from YouTube were terrible. And then you can, I'm going to get some coffee mugs too. In-house coffee mugs. They're going to be higher quality. Love you so much, everybody. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. More stuff, more videos to come this week. So make sure you're keeping your eye on YouTube. Have a great day. Bye. Bye.